Hey, Bo, when we talked to Coach Denbrock earlier this week, he said like the downfield passing game is kind of one big player, one confidence booster away from really breaking through. Like, what did that touchdown do for you guys today?
Oh, man, it was amazing just being able to see all the work that we've put in all camp, all summer, and things like that finally come to fruition, especially for the QB receiver. Just confidence going forward. We know we can make plays like that, and it was just a matter of going and do it. So that was definitely a big confidence booster for us.
Still on your left, Pete Byrne.
I got an easy one for you, Bo. I'm just curious, how does it feel to get your first win at Notre Dame Stadium?
Oh, yeah, it feels amazing, man. When I came up here a couple years ago on the other team, it was I didn't get one, so it feels good to, have the fans cheering and all that, have my teammates, corralling, and just being able to make plays for the guys here. We put in a lot of work, and it just felt good being able to do that for my teammates.
You guys are you're a third of the way through the season now. What do you
Yes,
feel
sir.
like as an offense you guys are doing well?
I'd say just responding. We have mistakes that we make, whether that's OL, receivers dropping the pass, running back missing a read or something like that. But we just come back next drive ready to go, that play never even happened. We reload well, something that Coach Free instills in us, and we just come back to play the ball.
Front row on your right, Angelo DiCarlo.
Bo, building off that last question, you guys have obviously been on a bit of a roller coaster overall as a team through your first 4 games. Where do you feel you guys are at overall in terms of getting to a consistent point in terms of performance?
I feel like we're pretty close, man. It's just small things here and there. We come in on Mondays, rewatch the film and things like that, see what to correct. And when we go to practice on Tuesday and Wednesday, we really look to fix things like that, like the small details, whether that's penalties or just MAs and things like that. And I feel like we're pretty close. As an older guy, I know what it looks like, and I feel like we're right there.
You guys have Louisville next week.
Yes,
We probably won't talk to you between now and then. Obviously, I imagine it's a program you're a little familiar with,
Yes,
being from the ACC. Just your thoughts on that game next week.
Oh, yeah, it's a big one. Louisville, they're always going to bring their best. They're a team I have a lot of respect for, just growing up watching Lamar and all that. They bring in players just like we do here. They have good guys that will come hard, play to the standard that they have there and things like that. But I feel like as long as we handle our business, execute, we'll be just fine.
Hey, Riley, I'm curious, when the offense is kind of sputtering like it was at the beginning of the game, is there anyone that, maybe it's you, who goes around, gathers everybody up and says, hey, we got to get this thing under control?
Yeah, I think we're a pretty mature group all around. There aren't guys that are going to get too low on themselves and on the offense as a whole, and there aren't guys that are going to get too high. I think I can do a better job of rounding those guys up, but I think for the most part we're a mature group, and everybody's kind of feeling the same thing. Let's get back out there on the next drive and try to prove it. Luckily, we don't have any attitude problems on the sideline when things aren't going as expected.
When you evaluate your game today, where maybe were the misses, where maybe were the hits? Talk about those 2 drives before halftime.
Yeah. The misses are just on me and being lackadaisical and just not finishing with my day one mechanics, things like that. The hits obviously come when you trust your guys around you. I think our best drives were when I was just giving it to our playmakers and letting them go. So I got to do a better job of just being confident in those guys and just letting them make plays and not trying to do too much, staying to the basics.
All the way to the front right, Eric Hansen.
Hey, Riley, I wondered when things weren't going well early in the game, looked a lot different than late in the game. So when that's happening, how do you keep patience with yourself? How do you rebuild your confidence in those times?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think I've played a lot of football, a lot of collegiate football in my life, and I've been through these situations where you might start slow, you might start missing easy passes. As a quarterback, it happens, and I've just seen myself respond throughout the years multiple times. You saw it 2 weeks ago, how we responded as a whole last week, and then you kind of just learn who you are as a person, who you are as a player. And I think when my back's against the wall and I'm not performing to my best abilities, I tend to respond pretty well.
You know, when we talk to Mike Denbrock, he talks about kind of the vision of what you're going to look like down the road. And I'm wondering, like, do you think about that? Is it something that you were able to buy into right away? Do you feel that, or is it something you kind of put on the back burner and just play football till you get there?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. Obviously, I understand what this offense can evolve to, and it's kind of just my job to guide it in that direction. Still figuring some things out, but I think every game we're getting better at the things that we struggled with the game before. Obviously, with the deep ball, it gave me a lot of confidence to know I can throw the ball down the field, and something good happened the majority of the time we did that, whether it was a PI, guys making plays. And, one of the biggest things for me is, I can underthrow a guy and have the confidence that, he doesn't always have to catch it, but the defender won't. And that, gains a lot of trust in me. I underthrew Jaden Harrison in the end zone, and what maybe would have been a pick and some people's eye, underthrown ball, he went up, made a play, and dropped it at the end, but it gave me a lot of confidence in that. So the deep ball is, getting better. I think we're just nicking and knacking all these little things and improving. We just got to sometimes stick to the basics and the fundamentals and remember, the fundamentals of football, and we'll really progress.
Staying on this same side in the front row, Pete Sampson.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, I was just curious, like from a schematic game plan point of view, what Miami did, if it was about what you expected, what they showed on tape, and then just sort of how they tried to defend you as a runner today.
Yeah, they did a really good job. I really thought that they would be in more zone. They played a little bit more man than expected, and they got a good defense now. They're really sound and didn't have too many MAs defensively. Third down, their packages were really good. Can do a better job in protection to make sure everybody's on the same page on my end. And then their empty sets, they showed some stuff that we haven't seen before and got us a couple of times. So we knew that they were going to be a really well-prepared football team. And yeah, they showed us some new looks, but they also stuck to the basics. Like there were some, situations and formations where we kind of knew what we were going to get, but they changed it up a little bit.
And I guess, was this a game where did you feel like the offensive line you were able to wear them down a little bit, whereas like the defense was getting stops, like they were going 3 and out a lot? Like, did you feel like attrition kind of like worked in your favor today?
Sure. Yeah, I think obviously with the way the defense plays, it takes a lot of pressure off us as an offense. We're able to go out there and maybe take risks and play freely because we know we have such a great defense that'll complement our game if we were to make a mistake. And then up front with the offensive line, I thought they did an outstanding job. Obviously, a lot of new faces in there. I say they're new faces, but these guys that are coming in have started multiple games. We might have had more total starts this game than we had the previous two. I'd be curious to look that up, but yeah. So they did an outstanding job.
Our final question for you, right in the front row, same front row, Angelo DiCarlo on the right.
Over here, Rob.
Yeah.
Obviously, early on, crowd seemed to be getting restless at times, and there were some boos early. Did you notice that? At all?
No. We tune out all the noise. We stick to ourselves, and we understand. We got to perform. We got to put on a show. So yeah, we don't really listen too much to the outside noise. I know my job's to win the football game. So regardless of any of that, we can't let it bother us. It is what it is, and we won. So yeah.
I asked Beau this, being a former ACC guy facing Louisville next week. What are your early thoughts going into that one against obviously a very good program that I'm sure you're pretty familiar with?
Right. Yeah, I've played them 2 times in my past, so. It's a redemption game for me as well as all these guys. So they're going to be a great team. Obviously, they got a lot of skill, a lot of new faces around their program, but really well-coached team. So it'll be a lot of fun to go out there and compete against those guys. I'm very excited.
Hey, Boubacar, last week when you were at the table, you talked about like everything you were doing from now on, doing it for Jordan Botello. Like, what was his advice heading into your first start, and how did that help you today?
His advice was just continue to play hard. Don't take no play for granted. Just play 100% every down. So, yeah, that is basically everything he told me.
How do you kind of build on this performance going forward?
Just continue to keep my head down and keep working. Just continue to prepare and attack each week. like it's yeah.
In the front row on your right, Angelo DiCarlo.
Through 4 games, where do you feel like you guys are growing as a defensive unit?
I feel like we're growing as a whole defense, especially in the run game. I mean, in all areas we can improve, but I feel like week by week we're showing like ourselves that we're able to be the team that we want to be. So,
Coach Freeman talking about you guys should celebrate a win. It's a win. At the same time, it was a slow start overall for the team. What's the mood like in the locker room right now?
I'd say for like the D line, I can't really talk for like the whole team, but like the D line, like we're pretty much moved on like from this win. So like we're focused on Louisville right now. So I say again, ready for Louisville and preparing for them right now. So, yeah.
On your left, second row, Pete Byrne.
Hey, Boubacar. I'm just curious. You look like you have fun out there when you're playing. What kind of goes through you when you make a big play like you did today, and does that fire you up?
Yeah, it definitely does. But one thing Freeman tells me is one play, one life. So once you make a big play, it's just you made it. Now it's to make another big play, focus on the next play coming up.
As a unit, how much confidence do you guys have right now? I mean, you've done a really good job keeping teams out of the end zone so far this year.
I feel like we have a lot of confidence. But I feel like the confidence builds throughout the week with our preparation. So I feel like the more we prepare and get ready for the team that we're playing, our confidence builds.
Christian, I was interested, like, as you go into games now and everyone knows who Benjamin is, if you expect more days like this where they're just going to tilt more towards the field side because they know number 20's on the boundary.
Pretty much I just know the ball coming my way every time and I'm just going to get it. That's the real thought in my mind every time. So yeah.
And I guess overall, like, how do you feel like the secondary took a step forward today? And like, what do you guys feel like you're doing better now than when the season started as a group?
What I could really say is that we already I feel like we already did took that step forward, and we just went out there and execute. What Coach Golden say, we some savages. Like, we go out there and we go ball, and we go play for the team really, and so yeah.
Front row on your left, Jack Sobel.
Christian, when you have a defensive stop in the muff punt, you have to go back out there. Like, what's your mindset when you kind of have to go back out there on the opposite side of the field? And then what were you seeing on the play where you jumped around and you all knocked together?
I was like, let's go. Like, I was happy for my boys, and on a muff punt, it was just okay. It's football. It happens sometimes, Situational masters. That's what we are. So we just went back out there and just got to stop. So, yeah.
After coming pretty close a couple times in the previous few games, like, how did it feel to get that first pick of the season?
It felt amazing, Just, another one just for a guy, So, yeah.
Front row on your right, Angelo DiCarlo.
What's it like when you're getting a couple of those real close and then it finally comes? I mean, obviously, there's the one that you guys got the interception on, and then you ultimately get one, but what's that like as a cornerback when you're so close a couple times this season before you finally get one?
It's like, why? Like, oh man, like I need to finish every time, and now when I finally got it, all I could just really say is just thank you, thank you God. So yeah.
How do you feel the defense has taken steps this week in particular, and the last 2 weeks maybe, to continue to get better here 1/3 of the way through the season?
We took some steps, yeah, and I felt like we came strong really. Every day we got better. We never went we just always went up, shoot up for the skies and everything. So I felt like we just took big huge steps in. So yeah.
Front row on your left, Kyle Kelly.
Hey Christian, we're without the mic, so I'm gonna use my outside voice. This sophomore class this year has been really impressive, especially on defense between you, Boubacar, Jaden's made plays at times, and of course Adon in the secondary. What is it about your guys' group as a class that has stepped up their level this year, and what does it say about the mindset that you guys have to all be playing at such a high level earlier in your career?
We knew by El Paso that we knew we was gonna step up. We knew we had to step up what we had to do, and we knew that everybody was gonna be leaving, DJ, and everybody else, Cam. So we just knew it's like, okay, it's our time. We got to step up. We got to really like have team. Well, we have like team glory. We had to come up because of the team, and we get individual glory because of the team. So yeah.
And then you guys have also logged a lot of snaps at this point, even dating back to last year. So do you kind of feel like as the season goes on, you're becoming a more experienced group, especially with you and Adon in the back end there? Do you guys feel like you have that chemistry?
Oh yeah, definitely. Me and Don, we always have that big chemistry. Ever since like we was getting recruited, we always had that brother chemistry in every way, and pretty much just what was the other question?
Yeah, just basically if you guys feel like you're kind of becoming an experienced group with the amount of snaps you guys are seeing on a weekly basis.
Okay. So I feel like we already was like since we came in there, we was like already locked in on a playbook. We already was doing this and every day, like working hard every day. So like I felt that me and Don, when we stepped on the field the first day at Texas A&M, we already knew we more experienced than these guys. Like we studied so hard and the trained so hard. So I just knew he was gonna be more experienced than them. So yeah.